When you get to this place that, the expectation and reality are miles apart, I would just ask, instead of asking the question, well, am I Christian? Are they a Christian? Is this Christian? We use it as an adjective, which is hilarious, Christian blank. That's not very Christian of you, right? Like, when you get there, I want you to ask a different question. Am I free? Am I free? When I talk with folks, sometimes I go down the path, and let me read the scripture first. Let me read the scripture to tell you why I kind of walk this way. Again, I keep things pretty simple. This is from Galatians. This is Paul writing to a church in Galatia, and he gets towards the end of this letter, and he kind of encompasses his entire conversation into this chapter in chapter 5. And he starts off with helping us understand purpose. He says, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by the yoke of slavery. I'll just leave that up. I want to read it one more time. But this is a big deal. Paul's basically saying, look, there was a purpose that you were saved. Okay, that God is not just collecting and saving and, collecting for some reason. There is actually, you were saved on purpose for a purpose. And it says it's for freedom. It's like you were freed for freedom. But then he kind of almost like, peers into the future. He almost looks into our lives. He looks into the lives of the church. And he says, but you need to stand firm and understand that it's for freedom. That freedom is what you should be experiencing, because you may allow yourselves to be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. You might run into a situation where you don't feel free at all. And yet you claim to be Christian. You claim to be saved and set free. And this is where it kind of, I talked with folks, and sometimes we'll talk about what we should be and the expectation and the reality. And sometimes, depending on the relationship, sometimes I'm just a little quick to say, look, if you don't feel more free as a Christian, like if you don't feel more freedom as a Christian, then it didn't take, or you're doing it wrong. Like there's two options, right? It didn't take, you got to go back to the non-negotiables. You got to go back to understand, what did it really mean? What did it mean? What did I do? What was this transaction all about? Or you're doing it wrong pretty much from this Galatians verse, saying there's got to be something that's tying you up. There's got to be something that's causing you to not feel free. There's got to be something that you're doing. There's got to be something in your life, an understanding even if that's it, that's causing you to be bound for no reason, to be enslaved. And so I want to talk this is me. This is the three things that I kind of gravitate around and towards. I feel like they're kind of all-encompassing. You could probably list out a bunch more for yourself. But I would look at these three things in terms of being saved and set free. If I really was saved for freedom, if I was set free for freedom, what was I set free from? Well, I believe I'm set free from fear. I believe I'm set free by grace. And I believe I'm set free to love. And that helps me answer the question, am I really free? Look, am I experiencing freedom in my life?